All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something that, let's be honest, we all deal with our own minds. You know, that constant voice in your head, the worrying, the planning, the endless replaying of conversations, it can seriously feel like you're trapped inside a machine you just can't switch off.
I mean, have you ever felt that? Just completely swamped, entangled in your own thoughts? It's like you're running through a maze, but the walls are made of your own thinking. Man, it is exhausting. So, what's the first thing we usually do? We try to think our way out of the problem of thinking. We figure, okay, if I can just analyze everything, if I can just understand why my brain does this, then I can fix it. It seems to make sense, right? But what if that whole approach is actually the problem? And that brings us to what is just a huge misunderstanding we have about our minds. This whole idea that you have to become a psychologist for your own brain to find some peace. Well, it turns out that's the very thing keeping you stuck. The answer, and it might surprise you, is a really simple no. You don't have to figure out your mind to be free from it. You actually don't need to solve it at all. And here's why. You can't use the tool that created the problem to fix the problem. That's kind of like asking a fish to describe water. It's so completely immersed in it, it has no perspective. You can't solve the trap from inside the trap.
Think about this analogy. It's a really powerful one. You could spend your entire life studying madness, become the world's leading expert on every single delusion and dysfunction. But is studying it going to make you sane? Nope. It just makes you an expert on madness. To find sanity, you got to step outside of that whole system. So if thinking our way out of it isn't the answer, then what is? Well, it turns out the real issue isn't the mind itself. It's how much we identify with it. And this creates something we call the ego. And understanding the ego's game is, well, it's everything.
So, what is this egoic mind? You can think of it like a fake self, a character that you've built out of your thoughts, your memories, your story of me. It's basically a stand-in for who you really are, that deeper awareness, that sense of just being that's always there underneath all the noise. And because this mind-made self isn't really real, it's super insecure. It's always needing more approval, more stuff, more control, just to feel solid. It's constantly on high alert, feeling threatened, which is why it keeps us living in this state of fear and always wanting something we don't have.
Okay, and here is the really wild part. The ego has a secret. It actually loves your problems. It feeds on them. Seriously, why? Because your problems give it an identity. They give it a story. They make it feel real.
I mean, think about it for a second. We all know someone whose whole sense of self seems to be built around their problems or what's wrong in their life, right? Deep down, unconsciously, the ego is invested in keeping that drama going, because if the problems went away, what would happen to that identity? It would feel like a kind of death, and the ego will fight like crazy to avoid that. So how in the world do you get out of this loop? If thinking doesn't work, what's left? Well, the way out isn't about fighting your mind. It's not about fixing it. It's about shifting where you put your awareness. It's about learning to just be present. The path is actually pretty simple in concept. First, you just have to recognize what's happening. See that you've gotten tangled up with your thoughts. The moment you see it, you can start to step out of it. And this part is so important. You just allow the mind to be there. Let it do its thing. No need to fight it or resist it at all. See, being present doesn't mean your mind magically goes silent. Oh no, the thoughts will still pop up. But the difference is, instead of being the thought, you become the one who notices the thought. You're the quiet awareness in the background, just watching the stream of thoughts go by without getting swept away. And when you can do that, it leads to this incredible shift. You start to realize, wait a minute, my mind isn't who I am. It's something I have. It's a tool, and it's time we started using it like one. Look at the difference here. On the one hand, the mind in its proper job is an amazing tool. You pick it up for a specific task, you use it, and you put it down. You're in charge. But the dysfunction? That's when it becomes this egoic mind, and it just takes over your entire life. It starts controlling you. So where does it all go wrong? It's right here. It's the moment we start looking for ourselves in our thinking. The moment we mistake the voice in our head for who we actually are. That is the fundamental mistake. And this is the most empowering thing to realize. Your mind is an instrument. It's a fantastic, brilliant tool when used correctly, but it is not you. You are the one who uses the tool. You are the consciousness behind the thought. So I'm going to leave you with a question, something you can take with you. The next time a thought just pops into your head, stop for a second and just ask yourself, if a thought is here, who is the one that's aware of it? Who is observing it? Pondering that question, that can be the very start of your freedom.